Make a couple big ones for these ones.
So this project, which I've called a seat at the table, is just basically my way to spend time with people that I like and find interesting, and just get to know each other better through making art together. I found that just in the past when I've made art with people, it's just a really, I feel like a low pressure way to
connect.
Yeah, to connect. And I think it's because you don't have to really be talking the entire time. I mean, you can be, but you're just like both working on your own things.
I brought some things that I grew, like some beans from a harvest, and then just some shells and some little rocks from the beach, a feather I found. And I love the idea of collage because it's just whatever. You can put it whatever you want in it. But also I'm really into, sustainability in feeding myself and feeding others with plant medicines. And so I just brought some seeds, like different seeds. These are cantaloupe seeds. And I thought we could have some fun with those.
We can glue these? You don't mind if we glue them?
No, and these are watermelon seeds.
Ooh, and look at the colors.
Kind of different colors that you can get from the earth, right?
Yeah.
And then like this is like different actual corn that we grew and from last year, but they're also heirloom varieties in there.
Okay.
Are we supposed to like talk about things? Or
Yeah, you
I don't know. It's a little.
Yeah, I don't really know the rules to this.
Okay.
But yeah, we can talk about whatever you want, or like I have the themes of creativity and community.
Sure. Yeah. Why don't you lead the way?
What does creativity mean to you?
Using your mind to make things.
Create. Gosh. So, such a big word, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
A few letters, but a big word. Create. I think just to I think it's about dreaming, really. And whatever that dream is, you create. So it could be, as simple as I want to go to the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
And then how do you create the path to go to the ocean?
Yeah, it's really anything, right, that we make.
Or make happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like my life is a creation. And I'm the masterpiece. I think everybody should look at their life that way. And then, you're able to create whatever life you want. And with whoever you want. And in however way you want it to be. Sort of like a collage. Honestly.
Do you think that everyone is creative, Lucia?
Yeah.
What are some ways that like you see people be creative, like maybe your sisters or your friends?
Like if they're making something with paper, you make something like a cool game to play or a cool drawing.
Oh yeah, didn't your sister make a game that you threw balls in, like an arcade game?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that was creative?
Mm-hmm. I think thinking creative is when you make something that's actually not a real thing. Like make a game that's not a real game. So
like something that doesn't exist yet?
Yeah.
I think that's a really good way to put it.
Creativity. Okay. pretty broad.
There's no wrong answers.
Right? And I don't think creativity necessarily apply to art. It applies to everything. I guess it's like problem solving.
Yeah, I like that you said that it doesn't necessarily just apply to art. It's like,
Right. It's like, you know, you can be creative fixing a broken pipe. You know, it's about like being resourceful, being thinking like problem solving, right? Yeah, because for me, each art project is essentially I create a problem for myself, and I look for ways to solve the problem, essentially.
like
right?
it's a pretty big question, but like, what's your definition of creativity, or like, how has creativity shown up in your life?
I think my earliest exposure to it was probably through my mother. So she was really into sewing, embroidery, making little, like, they're almost like little maquettes or figurines out of whatever nearby things that she had. And growing up, we didn't have the most amount of resources or time, really. She had to work, so did my dad. But then when she would have time, you know, it's kind of hard to afford certain toys. So she would have to, like, make me things to play with. And I think that process of making purely for joy, because there was no purpose other than to entertain me. And then I became a little bit older, got a little better with my hands. Then I'm also helping her make these things. Then we're taking on little projects together. And that expanded into different mediums and eventually got into, like, drawing and painting and whatever else. But I always loved that sort of DIY craft aspect. So for me, it was always just taking something that appears as one thing and then transforming it through effort.
It
So, like-
could also be kind of like an issue, psychological issue, or, you know, emotional issue that I'm going through, and making art is like a way for me to not necessarily solve the problem, but kind of think through, you know, kind of like this process of just thinking through making. So I guess in that sense, it's also, yeah, that's really interesting, because at first I was just thinking, yeah, it's just a bunch of logistical problems that you gotta take care of, but yeah, I guess both, yeah, for sure,
Yeah, I like thinking about it as a mental problem, or like a mental block, or
yeah,
like a challenge I'm going through. I think that art really helps me with that, even if I'm not making art specifically about the problem. I think it just helps my brain. Maybe it helps me use different parts of my brain.
Like, so what is the beauty way in order to create?
What do you mean by that, the beauty way?
Well, I mean, when you think about people and how we live our lives, right? So, because as a healer, I see a lot of different kinds of people in my home, in my ceremony, and there's a lot of heartache, a lot of despair, a lot of lost people. And so I think when we can speak in the beauty way, like in the words that we use to describe ourselves, or the way we view the world, is important in the way that we create. So we could either create a world of darkness and loss, like being a lost soul, or we can create in the beauty way where our words are showing us the way to be, right? Like, to be happy, what does that look like, right? As opposed to looking at the current despair of the world, right? Which we could focus on that. But my thing is, can we talk the world into being what we want it to be?
I'm kind of going through a little bit of that right now. Like, I haven't really been consistently making art, creating, and I feel really bad. Not that I feel guilty, it's just I just feel grumpy and you know, not good. and I know making would make me feel better, but I'm sort of afraid of something, you know, like I just feel overwhelmed and just a lot of really strange emotional obstacles that's kind of in the way. I know just going back to the studio will make me feel good, but it's hard to establish a sort of schedule around it.
And I think if I'm ever starting to feel like disconnected from who I am or depressed, and I just take out some art supplies and I like almost immediately feel like back to my true self.
Just making.
Yeah, like it almost takes me back to when I was a kid again. Like, oh, everything's okay. Like I have my art supplies.
Because you get lost in it.
Yeah, and it's just like you don't have to like,
world.
you don't have to be anyone, you know, for anyone else. You can just
Just be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good. I'll go with this
I want to make a purple tissue. Sorry, I'm taking over your artwork.
Okay. Then.
You like that one?
Yeah.
It can be inspiring, especially to make art with kids, because like my niece Lucia, she's just like so free in what she does and is not limited by any rules that she's learned. You know, she's just like experimental and she's not really critical of herself at all, which I love. Because I've been critical of.
How do you do that?
I know, right?
How do you undo that?
I'm gonna use these in mine. Actually, I'm done with this.
Okay.
I'm gonna make
Sometimes with the paint chips too, I use them as like a little canvas and like actually just make a little collage.
Yeah, that's
On the
what
chip.
I want to do. I want to paint it, but I don't have any paint, so. I'm
Okay,
gonna
we'll have to do
color.
that next time. Can you color pencil might work on there.
Yeah. I'm gonna use this one because it's cool.
Can you give me a cream one? I want to do one too.
This one.
Can I use that one?
Yeah. I'm gonna make a donut
Do it.
with these two because they're.
Would it be
similar.
strawberry?
Yeah. It's like, which one do you think looks more like bread from a donut?
Like donut bread?
Yeah.
I think I would say like that one maybe.
Yeah. I
So-
think this one.
Okay. Yeah, either one of those. This one I think is too light.
Yeah. It's like white. Okay. Let's cut out the donut.
How about you? When you were younger, what were you like in terms of making things and
When I was a kid, my mom and I feel like that's how we really bonded.
Oh.
Was through making things together. So one of the things that we would do, and I think this was inspired by like going to arts and crafts fairs, we made sand bottles. So I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's like colored sand and
I have seen
you
it.
layer it in the glass bottle. So we would do things like that, or like sometimes we would make t-shirts with puffy paint and like do different patterns with the paint on the t-shirts, or we made jewelry with beads, and those are like the times of my childhood that I really remember and like my childhood, like with my mom, wasn't super easy, but these are like really sweet moments that I remember of like being with her. So has your family always been a source of inspiration for your artwork?
No, I think it started off with just the urge to want to make something, to create. And then I think when I went to art school, I never thought that my art had to say anything before. Like, it never felt like I was supposed to make a statement. And then I was almost forced to kind of go inwards a little bit and think, well, what's important to me? And then there's obviously things you think you're supposed to say and do. And then at some point you just kind of figure it out. I think family for me just made sense. And it still makes sense.
But I feel like there's definitely something going on, like, with creativity in my subconscious even. Creativity doesn't necessarily have to just be a conscious act.
No, because I do feel, well, definitely dreams are, a journey, a path for yourself. And either you can remember them and they are going to either show you what your future is, or perhaps something from your past that's coming back to your present moment so that it can guide you, or it's something just, fantastical, like almost like an animated movie. And then whatever you're feeling, like this flying feeling, is either you're floating over the top. So, it could be, maybe a spirit animal showing you something, like the great eagle, condor, showing you how to fly over any obstacles that are coming your way. So,
yeah, 100%. I don't think I would be here if it wasn't for them, because I think I have three levels of like social interaction that I need. Otherwise, I will wilt and die like a flower that hasn't been watered. But it starts with the baseline of the family, so the siblings, the parents, grandparents, and then there's Sangat, which is like the more of the religious South Asian community for Punjabis, Punjabi Sikhs. And then from there, it's friends that have come from that aspect of the community and culture, and then I'm able to exist with them in a different sort of way. And then obviously art networks and art colleagues, because I think you need so many different types of people in your life just to, what is that word? Like, just to stay well-rounded.
Yeah.
this one dream that I've had since I was a little girl is, I'm like in a boxing ring. Starts out like a really small, like, box, but it looks like a boxing ring is the only way I can describe it. And when I first started dreaming this, I didn't know what kind of a box it was, right? And as I grew up and had this recurring dream, I figured out it was like a boxing ring, and sometimes it would just stay that size, like really small, and sometimes it would get super big, like so big that I would get lost in it. And I wasn't boxing anyone. It was like I was stuck in it.
So you were there alone?
I was there alone. I'm there alone. And then all around it are all these different doors that I could select to go in. But I can never get out of the box.
So you haven't been able to get into the doors?
No.
Oh, wow.
I know. So, and it's the same dream. And yeah. And I've never really interpreted it in terms of, what could the messages be, other than, I have this really, growing up as a minority and in German Irish town and being tolerated, right? Because our tribe was the only minority in town, and not being able to speak our language or wear our regalia or eat our food in public. We could do nothing in public that was us. It was prohibited through local ordinance, which was really a weird place to grow up in. And my people grew up in the time of, you were either colored or you were white. So, there was that whole thing. And the only thing I can think of as I've grown older and I've seen that dream is that it's related to the way that I've been either treated. You have to stay in this ring.
Right.
You can fight whoever comes into that ring, but you're not going to get out to go venture out and journey down those other paths.
Oh my gosh, I have my recurring anxiety dream is going back to school and like I have one recently where I like go back to high school and I'm like, oh, I just want to take these extra classes for fun, and then I like fail them, and then I ruin my GPA, and then I'm all anxious about it, and then I wake up and I'm like, what? No.
Yeah. I have
And also,
similar
like, who
dreams.
cares? Like, I don't understand why I get so anxious about ruining my GPA, because, like, at this point in life, like, who cares
Yeah.
what
yeah.
my GPA is?
No, it makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah, it's all these years of stress. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I have similar dreams about teaching where I find out I have to teach this class last minute, and then I show up to class and I wasn't prepared.
It's just good to see beyond, I think, our own circles.
Yeah, 100%. Because how else would you build bridges?
Yeah, there's no way. And I really like thinking, even though I'm like an introvert and I used to be really shy, I think I see myself as a connector, which might also be like a way that I'm keep my introversion going, because sometimes I'll be at an event and I'll be talking to someone, but then I'll see someone else and I'll be like, hey Sunny, you
Yeah.
should meet this person, and then I
then
can
you
like
leave.
go off. Yeah.
And then you like pass on the
Yeah, and I'm like,
torch.
bye.
You're like, okay, well I did my job. Peace.
Yeah, but like connecting people from different communities with different life experiences and like seeing what happens within those relationships is like so freaking cool. That's like so like magic to me.
That's such a good word for it too, connector. Like you get to be the person that sort of fuses these two different worlds together.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was talking about building bridges earlier, but you are the bridge in that sense.
Yeah. Okay, just a little bit more of this one. Just need this. Just so I can make it. Did you know at Champs for swim team, some people camp out there because it's 3 days long. And people
Wait,
just
there's 3 days of swimming?
yeah, but Fridays IMs, Saturday is freestyle and backstroke, and then Sunday is breaststroke and butterfly.
What's your favorite stroke?
Breaststroke, and then butterfly, and then backstroke, and then long free, and then short free.
It's just really hard to do a thing every day. You know?
Yeah.
That's the hard part.
Well, I think the trick is too, like, if you miss a day, don't let it get to you.
Yeah.
Just go back to it the next day.
Yeah.
Or you could do like a pink moon or something.
I did think about the pink because there's the purple undertones. Ugh, fine, I'll do pink.
Do whatever you want. I'm not trying to dictate your art. Your art.
I'm just kidding.
I'm
That's a whole
like telling you what
meltdown.
to do.
You're like,
You just have
"No,
a tantrum.
you
The end of the
can't
video
do
is just you being like,
Yeah,
I want
but
to make
I
it
hate
orange,
this.
and that's final.
Worst experience of my life. No, I think that was a good call.
Well, thanks for making art with me today. This is nice.
Mm-hmm.
My head was hurting, and actually drawing and doing like simple art stuff like this, like collage, like not putting too much pressure on myself, can help my headache feel better. What I'm curious.
Oh.
Would you share what you wrote on your?
Oh yeah, I said you are not to complain or question who you are, but instead grow, reaching for the light that's inside.
It's beautiful.
And that's from Reign of Gold by Victor Villaseñor. And this is the quote that Doña Guadalupe is telling her daughter, her youngest daughter, who's growing up to be a woman, and she sees her daughter, you know, in that light, saying, "Oh, you're going to grow up, and you know, what can I share with you? How can I how can I teach you all the things that I need to teach you? And ultimately she says, all I can send you away with is all the love that I have. And I thought,